Aries fire, healing and truth. This week carries a powerful concentration of energy in Aries, and it meets us at a very precise point of awareness. We have Mars conjunct Neptune on April 13th, Mercury entering Aries on the 15th, Mars forming a sextile with Pluto on the 16th, and then the new moon in Aries on the 17th, conjuncting Chiron. At the same time, Mercury is also meeting Neptune, and we now have a strong Aries stellium forming with the Sun, Moon, Chiron, Mercury, Neptune, Mars, and Saturn all influencing the same field of action. This is a lot of fire, but it's not just movement, it's conscious movement because Neptune is here, because Chiron is here, because Saturn is here. So the question this week is not what should I do next, but rather what is actually driving my action. And this is where the connection to Tazria Metzora becomes very precise. These portions speak about states of impurity, but not in a moral sense. They speak about misalignment, about conditions that appear on the surface but originate from something deeper. And most importantly, they introduce the role of the priest, the one who can discern. Because not everything that appears external is actually external, and not everything that looks like a problem is truly the root. This is exactly the influence of Neptune this week. Neptune dissolves clarity. It can blur the lines between intuition and projection, between truth and imagination. And when Mars, our drive, our action, meets Neptune, there can be a tendency to act without full clarity, to move based on a feeling that hasn't been fully understood. Now, at Mercury entering an Aries, and suddenly thoughts become faster, speech becomes quicker, decisions become more immediate. But with Mercury also touching Neptune, we have to be careful because what we say, what we decide, what we initiate may not yet be grounded in truth. And this is where the Torah portion gives us a very clear instruction. Pause, observe, discern. In Tazria Metzora, there was a process. You didn't immediately label something as impure or impure. You observed it, you waited, you checked again, and only then did you decide how to move forward. This is exactly the medicine for this week because then we arrive at the new moon in Aries conjuncting Chiron. This is the reset point, but it's not a surface level reset. Chiron brings awareness to where we are still acting from a wound, and Aries wants to act now. So there can be a tension. Do I move forward quickly or do I take a moment to understand what is actually being triggered? This is where Saturn in Aries also plays a role. Saturn doesn't rush. Saturn asks for responsibility. It asks, are you willing to take ownership of your actions? Are you willing to act with awareness? And then Mars, sextiles Pluto, gives us something very important: power. But not chaotic power, focus power. The ability to transform a pattern. And if only if we are honest about what we are working with, this week is not about stopping action, it's about refining it. is about recognizing that not every impulse is aligned and not every hesitation is fear. Some hesitation is wisdom, some slowing down is alignment. And when you take that moment, when you allow awareness to come before action, then Aries does what it does best. It initiates something new, but this time is not driven by reaction, it's driven by truth. And that creates a completely different outcome. This is something I look at very specifically in your chart, where you tend to move from alignment and where action might be coming from something deeper, from a pattern, a wound, or simply from pressure. Because your chart already shows how you're designed to act and what happens when that action is slightly off. If this is something you're navigating right now, whether it's a decision, a transition, or a new beginning, you can reach out.